And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Thursday, August 31st, 2023. And another month has gone by in a flash. I'm going to start here with the S&P, and I'm also going to start on the hourly chart. I don't really have a whole lot to be adding. The market did initially continue to climb higher, as I anticipated that it would, as it moves to complete what I'm continuing to label as a larger minor wave 2 corrective rally. And within it, as you can see on the chart, I've already marked minute wave A and B. We're remaining within this minute C wave. Is there a chance that this high today at 45.41 completed the cycle? Yes, there is a chance, but I'm leaving it open. It did start off correct, but then it keeps getting caught up, and then it comes down and it keeps getting caught up, and in terms of the buyers kind of push back in again. And so I'm just going to repeat myself in that when it is complete, it being that it's a minor wave 2, the next up would be a minor third wave. And so my feeling on all of that is that what should happen, or what was likely to occur, is we get that drop off like we saw last Thursday, and that it just started to go, and it down and down it went all the way through Friday before hitting a low and then clicking and starting to move higher again. Now, I'm not anticipating or saying that that's what will happen again, because in this time it's a different wave pattern. It's a different type of a decline. It would not be within a corrective decline. It's going to be within just a straight pickup of the next leg down in a larger intermediate first wave of a primary C wave down, which ultimately over the next several months, up to maybe possibly even a year, will work its way lower, much lower. And more on that when I do a big picture update. To just get back to what we're dealing with right now, what if it is complete, what I'm going to be looking for is the development on the hourly chart of 5 waves down. As you can see, it's very nondescript. It's not really anything being put in place. If anything, very small, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we got overlap. We've got everything in between. So it just is not. It's too immature, so to speak, to really kind of say, well, that's the top and it's in. So we're going to give the benefit of the doubt that there may still be upside, in which case we continue to look at 45.25, which has been both resistance and support, then resistance and supports as it bounces back and forth above and below it. So again, it remains in place in terms of being able to do that, almost like a point of control. Breaks to it, holds around it, breaks above it, comes back to it, et cetera, until we get that break in one direction or the other. A break higher would suggest that we're going to go up to 45.51, and that would then be again within that completing minuet wave 5. So if anything, maybe what we got is wave 1 and this is a wave 2 with inside of this minuet wave 5. So much more diminished type moves, but intraday, decent enough to catch a good trades, let's say. So if it's 1, 2, then we're looking for 3 and a 4 and a 5. And again, we have 2 zones, well, actually 2 levels. So the first level being 45.51, plus or minus. And then we have that cluster, which starts at 45.73 and it runs up to 45.88, 87, 88. So we really have 45.70 to 45.90 is the what I'm giving it in terms of just being plus or minus. And it's a cluster. It's where we have the outside for the minor wave 2, a 78.6% retracement back up. And then we have the 100% level for minuet wave 5 as compared to minuet wave 1. That comes in at 100% at 45.82. And then for the C wave, when it's compared to wave A, we have 1.618, and that's also at 45.83, 85, somewhere in that direction. So we have a confluence of the larger minor wave 2, the minute wave C, and then the minute wave 5. So all of that coming together in one area, which continues to kind of revolve and set this cluster as a very high candidate to complete the move, which is why I'm not putting any labeling in here. But as I've said before, I'll say again, it could end anywhere in between as long as the structure does suggest that we have completed a clean 5 to the upside. Small, but still it should be a clean 5. Moving averages are continuing to point to higher. The very short term, like the 4 and the 8 period, those are kind of going to just follow the moves. Even the 20 kind of got up and followed the moves today. But the 50s are continuing to point higher, even though late afternoon we kind of closed right around that 50 SMA, the simple moving average. The EMA kind of going flat right here and is sitting at 45.10, 45.08, 45.09. Should provide support after hours, and even as we start Globex, a break there is going to suggest, put a little bit more emphasis on there's the possibility that the market is complete. But as long as it holds up that previous 4th, then we've got a couple of choices. So, but right now, I think we've got that support here at 45.08, 45.01. Again, the 50% level resistance on the way up should be support on the way back down. And then again, if we start to break, I'm going to be looking for the development of a little bit larger 5 waves down. Over in the NASDAQ, it's kind of the same story, except the NASDAQ did a clean shot running up to next resistance at 15,606. Again, pretty much hitting it on the nose. If I go right there, 15,606.75. The resistance level to the number was 15,606.6. So it hit it on the nose, hit it right square in the face, backed off immediately, made a couple attempts to try to get back above it, and failed, and all the way around. Now, even if I just kind of open this up and we take a look inside, now from here, it's like 1, 2, 3, and this is a 4, but we get a ton of overlap in here. So is it 1 of 5, 2 of 5, working itself around in here? It's just too many different variations that can be put together that kind of lean into not done yet. So we're giving the market through tomorrow. And then again, we reach that 618, which is not the most common when we're comparing the minuet wave 5 to the minuet wave 1, or wave 5 to wave 1, in this case at a minuet level. So we have that comes in at 15,750. So once we can clear this, we've got additional, about 100 points or so, 150 points before we get up into this. Now that zone as well, 786, that's for the minor wave 2, the larger minor wave 2, and then the 100% would be for minuet wave 5. Above all that, we continue to have for minuet wave 5. The C wave is way up here. We broke the 100%, and that's for the C wave. In fact, just to be honest with you, I can take that off because it may provide some support, but it really is insignificant at this stage. So the C wave reached the 100%, and the next up on that is 1.618, which is way up here at that all-time high. Not the all-time high, excuse me. The high for this particular sequence, which is 16,063 in that area. So anywhere in between, though, folks, can complete it, and we'll be looking for the development of that 5 waves. And then once done, still same prospect of what I'm be looking for coming out of it, particularly in the NASDAQ, because of all of the high-tech stocks, all of those stocks, which actually now are appearing to be more and more overbought. And so we're going to get just a quick turn and a lot of like get out of the pool type action. Moving averages here as well are looking pretty good. Kind of just maybe cresting a little bit, moving a little bit slower. The 50s and the 200s not really picking up a lot of gusto as they did here. Just kind of like cresting over. The 20, the 4, and the 8 all being responsive to what is happening within the market. So tomorrow as well, for continuation of what we have in, and I don't know what happened to that. I got to go put that back up there. What we have for tomorrow now, on September the 1st, we have the non-farm payrolls. We have the unemployment rate. We have a Cleveland Fed. She's not going to start talking at 9:45 a.m. At 9:45 as well, we have the September U.S. manufacturing PMI final, 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing, and 10 a.m. construction spending. The two, what I would say, there are three that I'm going to consider more important that are coming out tomorrow. The U.S. non-farm payrolls, of course, because that's our jobless or employment situation numbers, where we get the employment rate. And then again, we have that September U.S. manufacturing, the PMI, the final. It's looking like it's going to come in pretty much as it did initially. And then at 10 a.m., we have the ISM manufacturing. Those are both market movers. So those are both coming out tomorrow morning. We'll look to see how the market wants to react. It's also an expiration. And so we might get some activity. It could be flat. Also, pre-holiday. Next Monday, Labor Day, so the markets are closed next Monday. So with that in mind, the next update likely will be on Monday. We'll have I believe there's a normal Globex session that will begin on Sunday. I will be checking in. Don't know if I'll necessarily make an update because the markets are closed on Monday. I think you can trade Globex in the morning here and within our trading hours. And then again, it'll close early and then reopen again on Monday afternoon. So if all fails, the next update will be on Monday, September the 4th. Have a great holiday weekend, everybody.